Let's start by talking first to the on-site agents. As we look in the left panel of this slide, leverage resale showings. What this means, if you start doing this and understanding it, then we're going to have to stop complaining about the fact that general agents come out and all they care about is using your new home to help them sell resales. That's exactly what they're doing, but we're helping them learn there's even a better reason for them to do it, and that's not to help them sell resales. It's help them to capture sales they would have missed by closing a new home because they're leveraging the new home showing. They haven't thought about it like that in the past. Not many of them have. And so we need to get off this problem of, in this issue of them ruining your presentation. They don't ruin your presentation. Nobody goes out and buys another home because their realtor interrupted you at a presentation. It doesn't help though when they're being critical, that's for sure, and I'll get to that in a minute. But look at this. Here's the number one thing. If I were teaching you as a new home, if you call me in, and I'm not suggesting you do, I don't do that. I'll do a little of it, but not much. I don't, not out there doing seminars and running around the country talking to on-site staffs. I don't think I have to anymore. We got this, what we're doing right now, right? And it's not that complicated, so there's nothing I've got to draw out on a board for you to look at and try to understand. What we have to try to understand is each other and what we're doing, right? So here's what I would say to you about working with realtors. Number one, the realtor has a qualified buyer in their car. This is why you're working with them now. They have a ready, willing, or at least a ready and able buyer in their car. They wouldn't have them in the car. So we love those prospects. They're your best prospects. Unfortunately, in your mind, they're with a realtor. That's got to change to thank goodness they're with a realtor who understands that you know construction and you are really good making sure that the transaction management side of the contract is buttoned up. But you know what you've got to quit doing then is telling us we've got to learn construction. You know, we have to know that you know construction. See, we've been doing this backwards. We've been doing several things backwards. But that's the first, okay? So the first thing we do is we appreciate realtors, sincerely appreciate them. We're not condescending. We don't just tell their prospects in front of them at the door that, hey, this is the best realtor that in Orlando or the city you're in because that's what you've been trained to say, and then you don't defer to them during the rest of the presentation. We've got to quit these things and really try our best to work with realtors and help them understand how you work. Not how your builder builds homes, that's part of it, but how do you work? Take the time to explain that to them. And go, find those who are really productive, who are out in your general markets, the general agents, and take them to lunch. Get off the site. Go into their world. Listen to them. Listen to what their issues are. Let them do some talking and build a relationship here. Because what happens is this, and this is what I teach general agents. By showing your home, here's a fact. That qualified buyer will not buy your home if they don't see it. So the challenge here is to get I know what you're thinking. Well, they run in here and they run around. They don't spend any time here and never get to make a full presentation. No, that happens. I know that happens a lot. But there's a reason for that, which we're changing. There's no reason for them to do that. It is to their advantage to do exactly the opposite of some things they've been doing. So I just want to plant that seed with you out there if you're an on-site agent. It's very important that you take a deeper interest and don't be haughty about the fact you know construction. They don't. I mean, so what? My goodness. I mean, the fact they know some construction, fine, but I've already stated my position on this and why I think, I always want to go to the person with the authority to do the work, to make the promise to get it done on time and right. I don't want to be assuming that. So that's just fundamental to how I work, for example. All right, and I always state those things up front if I'm working with a new home prospect. And I train those who work on my teams to do the same thing. Okay, let's look at how to leverage a new home showing if you are a general agent. Now, you deal with prospects every day who do not clearly understand what they can buy for their money. They come into the area. That's why they've come to you. They want you to help them with the process. May have found the home on the internet they buy. Chances are they don't, but they think they have. They want to see it. They may be registered with a builder. Why would they come to you? They want you to help them with the process. One thing they do not understand, especially if they're coming from out of town, is they don't know the reputation of the local builders. But number two, more importantly, even is they don't understand the market. Well, here's my point. I know what you're thinking. Well, I have my MLS books, and they can see comps. We show them comps. The buyers see them. The sellers see them. Everybody sees the comps. Great. What they don't see, though, is the vision for how they can live in a home for a fixed price. Enter the new home model with its fixed base price. And general agents, hear me on this. And I'm going to show you, we're going to go through some slides here to clarify this. But it's very important that if you don't have to show everybody a new home. I'm not saying that. If they're building new homes in your area for $250,000 and up, if that's what we call the price point, if that's where the new homes are basically starting in your market, and you've got a prospect for a home for about $140,000, no reason to show them a new home. They're not there with that, right? But if you have a prospect who's come to you for resales in the price range of a new home in your market, you've got to have a mindset of you can't help it. You have got to show a new home whether they have said they want one or not. Because what you want them to do, hear me on this, please. What you want your prospects to do, regardless of what they're looking for, is to understand, truly understand in their mind the price value baseline in that area. That they will then understand as much about the market as you do. And that does not come, sorry, but it does not come from an MLS book. Where it comes from is when they see a new home model, especially when you show it first. You must put this at the top of your showing schedule. And on-site agents listening to me right now, this is how you need to be encouraging your realtors, not to sell your home, but to include your home on their showing schedule and put it at the top. And here's why. It will help them sell more resales and new homes. Let me explain this. Here's what, let me prove to you, at least verify with you, that I understand how you do it now in the resale business, okay? And let's look at the next slide.